Hey, my name is AugieRFC, and have you considered following me on Twitch? We do a lot of live streams on there, whether it be desktop, whether it be IRL, whether it be nightly broadcasts, or whether it be just some good old-fashioned gaming, so you should totally follow us. We're close to 200 followers, and the only way we're going to hit this goal is if you do what you know you got to do. Follow me at twitch.tv/RedFoxComms. The conversation that led up to the KSI versus Logan Paul boxing event has been the most uninteresting and boring period of YouTube drama history. Let me tell you, this same 10-minute video coming out from insert commentary YouTuber here telling you, oh my gosh, Logan and KSI are at a decent advantage. KSI has the height advantage while Logan has the arm reach advantage. Here's a 10-minute video where I pretend to give you expert boxing analysis over this whole fight, when really I don't know anything about boxing. This whole 6-month stretch of YouTube has been so boring and lackluster. Every time a single commentary YouTuber would upload a video about the boxing fight, it would be the most boring, uninteresting, copy-paste video you would ever see. Every week we have a podcast called RFC Live that takes place at 10:30 p.m. Central Time. We've done 24 episodes so far. 2 of them were dedicated to the fight, and they were both the 2 worst podcasts agreed by myself and all my hosts in our podcast history. They were just simply the most boring, uninteresting podcasts we had ever done, and halfway through the show, we just wanted to kill ourselves. It wasn't good. However, the conversation after the fight has been far more interesting. And while I don't intend to stretch out this whole trend for too much longer, there are a couple things I want to say. Today, I want to talk about why Deji didn't lose to Jake Paul. Now, obviously, Deji did technically lose to Jake Paul. There's no disputing that. But that's not the point of what I'm saying. In all honesty, Deji really couldn't lose from the start. He was always in a no-lose scenario, no matter what happened. Either Deji wins, and he obviously comes off looking extremely good, or he loses, but still comes off looking good. Allow me to explain. Deji was in the position of the good guy and the underdog. Jake Paul is the villain of the internet, so obviously whoever goes up against him is instantly put in the good guy position. And while KSI refused to play the part of the good guy and instead wanted to play the part of the bad guy as well as Logan Paul, Deji was more interested in playing the part of the good guy that no one else really wanted to fulfill. He also was the underdog, not just in the sense that he had less subs or he was less relevant, but he was also smaller and had lesser of an advantage and lesser of a background history. So if he had won, he would have looked extremely good, obviously. I don't need to explain why. But if he lost, he still looks good, and now let me explain why. First off, he looks good because he stuck through his training and he stuck to the fight to the very end. Even with his best friends telling him to stop and telling him he couldn't make it, telling him it wasn't a good idea, he stuck through it. Ricegum and Keemstar were supposed to be the 2 best friends of Deji that were there to support him during the fight, but they both literally placed money on the other team. Despite this, Deji didn't stop training. In fact, he even quit his trainer and started training on his own to prove that he was going to beat Jake Paul, not just because he had a good trainer, but because he was good at boxing. Now, obviously, even though Deji trained, if he still got plowed by Jake Paul, he's not going to look that good in this scenario. Yes, we can admire him for sticking to it, but at the end of the day, if Jake Paul's plowing him, then it's not really that impressive. However, during the actual fight, Deji put up quite the fight against Jake Paul. It was far more even matched, and we were all surprised that Deji didn't just get blown to pieces during the first round. He actually stuck through and gave Jake Paul a run for his money. Although Jake Paul started to get the edge around him as the fight progressed, it really took him a while to get used to Deji and get used to what he was up against. And he really put Jake Paul in a run for his money in the sense that Jake Paul walked into the round initially overconfident, and then Deji started beating him up, and he started realizing, oh, okay, I gotta actually take this seriously. I can't just walk in and get the belt, you know, I actually have to try. And that's something you can definitely admire Deji for. It's clear that he took his training seriously. It's clear he was motivated, and it was clear he had the intent of winning the fight. And although he didn't, he still comes out of the outcome looking extremely good. A YouTuber's critical of Deji was Kavas. Kavas even made a video about Deji last year. However, Kavas pledged his support for Deji during the fight, and even though Deji lost, Kavas still said that Deji did England proud, which is very interesting considering the fact that Kavas is extremely critical of several YouTubers, including Deji, yet even he was very praising of Deji and his performance in the fight. All in all, Deji is a genius in this whole situation. He put himself in a no-lose scenario to the point that no matter what he did, he still come out the outcome looking good. All Deji really walks away with is all the new subs and clout he's gotten from the fight, and I really can't blame him. He did a really good job, and I have to give credit where credit's due. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say for today. If you enjoyed the video, you know when to press. Subscribe if you're new. Check me out on Twitch. Check me out on Twitter. My name is AugieRFC, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys.
My thoughts are like a bright symphony. I'm simply changing everything that I begin to see mentally. But physically I plan to change history with a pen, notepad, and a distant dream. But distance ain't an obstacle, that's too much. I'm closer than you think to the stars, nigga, look up. See an adolescent with impressive rhymes, chasing dimes. Not the kind that want cash, but the ones that's inside of my pocket while I pocket